Welcome, everyone. This is your friend, the DN WhatIf, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story of what if Deku became the most popular secret singer? If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Izuku POV. My name is Izuku Midoriya. I'm a 23 years old songwriter and I had the best news of my life today. Don't worry, you'll know what it was soon enough. I live in an apartment with my roommate Katsuki Bakugo. We don't talk much and I think it's better this way. I like to have my privacy and let's just say that I am a very awkward person. I have two friends, Shoto Todoroki and Hitoshi Shinso. We've been together since middle school and have been sticked by the hip ever since then, ups and downs. We had our backs even if we were in an argument. I shake my head, bringing myself back to reality after realizing I was staring at the wall in front of me. In the last week I've been working on a new song that I was planning on releasing soon. I knew it was late right now, but the exact time I don't have the slightest clue. I take my phone and dial Shoto's number. I hear the ringtone 5 times and at the 6th he picks up with a long groan. Izuku, it's 3 a.m. What's wrong? Shoto asks, worried but mostly annoyed. I must have woken him up. Oh shit, it's late. Sorry, didn't see the time. Anyways, I just finished writing my song. Wanna hear it? I say, jumping around in my room from excitement. I'll be over in the morning. I wanna hear it, but now I'm sleeping. He grumbles, still half asleep. Good. I'll let you sleep then. Good night. I smile while ending the call and I end up looking at my wall once again. I'm slowly realizing my room is depressing. Maybe I should do something about it. After all, half of my days are spent gazing around it. I hear my stomach rumble and I realize I haven't really ate anything today, since I was concentrated on my song. I was thinking about my options to satisfy my stomach and I realized I have a McDonald's craving. I think Shinso is working today on top of that. I'm not tired anyways. I lie to myself, getting up and grabbing my keys and wallet. In reality, I was exhausted, but the excitement would probably keep me awake anyways. I get out my room, careful not to make too much noise to avoid waking up my roommate, but I growl in annoyance, realizing it wasn't necessary according to the noises coming from the living room. I wanted to go out without being traumatized once again, but it's impossible considering that you have to pass by the living room to go to the front door. I could maybe not go out though. I'm hungry. I make up my mind and go to the front door, avoiding to look. Go in your room, I don't want come on my freaking couch. I glare at my roommate that just gives me a middle finger, not letting go of the girl that was pretty much naked under him. I leave the apartment in disgust. If you're wondering why I'm keeping him as a roommate, if he can't understand basic human decency. Well, Mr. pays his part of expenses and rent, he also cooks for himself and doesn't bother me. Would be the perfect roommate if it wasn't for his girlfriend that he fed in every rooms in the house except for my room and personal bathroom. Knowing his weird kinks, he would do it if I didn't lock my door, which disgusts me. I go down the stairs of the complex and fidget with my car keys as I unlock my car and hop in. I was humming to the beat of the music playing. I only live 10 minutes away by car, so it didn't take long before I was in the parking lot. I shiver at the sudden breeze of cold air and run inside. It was pretty empty, so I go to the counter, happy to see my friend who was already looking in my direction. Yay, you're working, I say cheerfully, making his chuckle. Happy to see you too, Zuku. Shin smirks as I look at the menu above his head, even though we both knew what I was going to order. The usual? He asks and I nod. And would you give me the honor of doing an Oreo McFlurry for your favorite friend? I ask teasingly and he shakes his head, discouraged. Got my break in 10, wanna eat together? He offers. Yes. I answer, excited. I take out my card, completing the transaction, and when I hear the beep, telling me it was okay, I put my card away. I'll prepare your order, please wait a moment. He says professionally. I look at him confused until I see his superior enter and I tried not to laugh at him for acting like he had a stick up his butt. He gives me a death glare before leaving to prepare my order. Him and Sho are the two who know about my music career. For those who don't know me, I actually go under a nickname, Deku. I know it means useless, but like my mom said, it looks like Dikairu, which means that you can do it. I find it sweet and decided to stick with it. I was thinking of what instruments I could add to my new piece, but I couldn't think of any modifications since I was already satisfied by the outcome. I was sitting down at a two-place table close to the counter waiting for my order number to be called. I was humming, tapping my fingers to the beat as I sang the lyrics in my head. Boo! I jump at my friend who appeared with my order and I glare at him. Mirio allowed me to take my break earlier. He explains and I nod, taking out my cheeseburger. Oh, and I finished the song I was working on. I say, happily unwrapping my gift from the gods. That's great, can I hear it? That's why I'm here. Show's coming over tomorrow, so you could sleep over and we could go out do something after if you guys want. I say, taking a bite and hum in delight at the taste of my food. Sure, he agrees, drinking his coffee. Also, how is your health going? He asks, concerned. He knew about my appointment this morning. I was planning on telling you and show tomorrow, but I start leaving him on suspense. Don't tell me. He says, excited. He knows I was doing better. We were only waiting for a confirmation. I'm cancer-free. I smile at him as he gets up and he hugs me tightly. Oh my God, Zuku. He cries on my shoulder. I got my results this morning. I explain with a smile. You're the first one to know. I say, a tear of joy falling. When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia. I had to do years of chemo and different treatments, and I had my last round of chemo a while back and was announced in remission 2 years ago. The traces of my cancerous cells were reducing. I had an appointment last week and ran the tests necessary, and there were no signs of cancerous cells in my bone marrow. The results got back today. Shinso and Shoto were the two who stayed by my side all along, that were there for treatments or when I was in pain or depressed. They never left my side. You did it, Zuku. He says, smiling. Your cancer's gone. He yells in victory, hugging me even tighter. I know. I say back, excited, and I notice some of his coworkers smiling and clapping. I'm going to live. These stupid treatments and operations are over. I say with happy tears. Zuku, he says, still in shock. You can take the rest of your shift off, Shinso. You guys got something to celebrate. It was Mirio, his boss. Thanks, men. He says, running to the locker room to change and grab his personal belongings, leaving me alone with Mirio. Congratulations, Midoriya. I'm really happy for you. Mirio smiles. Thank you, Mirio. I smile, whipping my tears. He gives me a fist bump before leaving, and Shinso comes back in a hurry. I don't care that he's going to kill us. We're raiding Show's place. Shin says, grabbing my arm, and I laugh, following him to my car. It's almost 3:40 a.m. He'll kill us. I sigh as we both jump in the car and I start the engine, leaving to Show's place. He was smiling like an idiot in silence. I'm still in shock, Zuku. Shin says with a huge grin. I was too. I cried in front of the doctor. I admit, laughing. I'd be worried if you didn't. Shin laughs. Me too. I agree. I'm a crybaby. If I'm not crying, then it wouldn't be me. We continue talking and driving to Show's place, and I use the key he gave me. We're so going to die. I say to myself and take a deep breath, and me and Shin nod, confirming we were ready. I open the door and we run to Show's room. His family was pretty rich, so they could afford an apartment for him alone. Shoto Todoroki, wake the F up. Shin yells, jumping on his bed, making both me and Sho jump, and my bicolored friend looks around confused and on high alert. What the hell, Shin? It's effing too early for this. Sho complains, looking at us confused. Trust me, this is worth it. Shin says, pointing at me. It better me or I'll kill you both myself. Sho grumbles, rubbing his eyes. I was going to tell you later, but he learned it and all, anyways. I take a deep breath, smiling. Everything's gonna be okay. I smile and he looks at me confused. There is no more cancer cells in my blood. I'm fully recovered. I smile softly and he jumped out of bed. You're serious, right? He asks, smiling, and I nod, and he jumps and hugs me. Told you it'd be worth being woken up. Shin laughs. Yeah, it is. Sho says, excited, and we all laugh, getting in an emotional group hug. Now dodo time. I'm tired and we're having a long day today. So sleep is needed. I state, jumping on the bed, soon followed by the two others. We're the pure definition of bromance. Shin says proudly while passing his arm over me and Sho. Definitely. I agree, yawning loudly. Now, I love you but I'm sleeping. I say, nuzzling in my pillow, and the two others agree. We got comfortable and fell asleep like when we were kids. It made me feel nostalgic. Memories of our childhood, or when I was in the ICU and they'd sleep by my side even if the nurse forbidden them to. I got to fall asleep smiling and it felt like a weight was falling from my shoulders. Izuku POV. After we woke up, around 1 p.m., we decided to eat at Sho's place and to go walk around the park afterwards. It was a little cloudy with a small breeze outside, but with a hoodie on, I was comfortable. Okay, hear me out. I start and my friends look at me concerned. If I were to kick my roommate out, would you come and live with me? I ask them and they shake their heads without thinking 2 times. While okay, they didn't like my idea. So, as much as I love you, there are too many stories of friendships that were ruined because they weren't meant to live together. Shin says, and I nod, understanding his point. And I'm not getting woken up every night at 3 a.m. because you have a weird idea. Sho explains, making us all laugh. Okay, I get the point. I smile at them. I was looking around while talking to them and that's when I saw it. My baby. My paradise. Ice cream. I yell like I just won the lottery, making a few bystanders look at me concerned. Stop acting like a child. Shin sighs loudly. Come on, it's ice cream. I say, pulling both their hands all the way to the van where the worker was looking at us amused. Once at the van, I jump while taking a close look at the menu, making sure they had what I wanted. Hi, 1 coffee flavored, 1 peppermint and 1 cookie dough. I order, excited. Coming right up. The guy says with a huge grin. After let's go at my place, I want to show you my new song. I smile at them, excited, and they nod in approval. I was staring at the guy preparing our 3 cones. He gives the first one, that was for Shin. After the peppermint for Sho, and last and not least, the cookie dough ice cream. It's going to be $37, the guy in the van says, and I hand him the money in cash. He counts it and he puts the money in the register, handing me the difference, and I put a tip in the tip jar. Have a nice day. I smile and we all walk away. Okay, so, hear me out. I start. Most of the time you start a sentence like that, we should cover our ears. Shin states and Sho nods in approval. But no, this one is a good one. I smile and they both look at me suspiciously. If I stop talking, looking at a large box, and I could hear whimpers coming from it. I notice something written on it in Sharp. Please take me. I read out loud and look inside and my eyes go wide. OMG. I say, bending down to their level, making them squirm around anxious, and I don't put my hand inside to not scare them more. I count and there was 4 of them. Honestly, you can't leave puppies like that. Shin says, disgusted. I nod in approval and take the box carefully, and they all start to mewl in panic, which broke my heart. Hey, it's okay, I won't hurt you. I say to the puppies. Zuku, what are you doing? Shin asks, concerned. I'm taking them home with me. I say, stating the obvious. Zuku, it's a lot of work, especially that they don't look over 3 months old. Shin says, making sure I understand what I'm doing. I know, don't worry, I'll figure it out later, but I can't leave them like this. I explain, and Sho takes my ice cream, that was about to fall, and holds it for me. We walk to my car and I put the box on the passenger seat, careful not to do any brusque movements. The puppies get to sit in the front and not me. Shin says, falsely offended, and I roll my eyes. You two can sit in the back, I love them more now. I stick out my tongue, getting in the driver's seat. We're being replaced that easily. I feel used. Sho says, dramatically, making me laugh, and I wait for them to put the seatbelts on before starting the engine and slowly getting out the parking lot, allowing me to go on the main road. Poor babies are going to have to hear Bakugo, his girlfriend, in the apartment. Shin sighs loudly. I'll ask Lita if I'm allowed to bring them with me at the studio. I say, discouraged. He's 2 years younger and still so immature. It hurts to see. At his age I was calm. I complain. No offense, but at his age you weren't sure if you'd survive and was stuck in a hospital bed. Sho says. Touché, I laugh. I still can't believe it. Shin says, still in shock. Me either. I say, smiling. But that means that life wants to be sure I annoy the shit out of you for many more years. I laugh. I wonder how he never noticed you were sick. I mean, you always look tired and are skinny to the bone. Or you'd be hospitalized and he never noticed. Sho says concerned. That's one of the reasons he's my roommate. He doesn't try to enter my life. I say happily. We were home and got out the car with the box of puppies in my arms. Are pets allowed in here? Shin asks, and I curse to myself for not thinking of that detail sooner. Okay, now is time to be quiet, okay? I say to the pups who seem to listen. Quick. I say as we sneak inside, activating stealth mode. Seriously, Zuku, you're unbelievable. Shin sighs and I grin proudly while going up the stairs while still being careful to not agitate the pups. I think they might be a mix of a golden retriever. I'll have to take them to the vet to confirm. I think out loud while walking to my door. My keys are in my back left pocket. I say, and Shin grabs them, opening the door to be met by a shirtless Bakugo sitting on the living room couch. What's that? He asks, confused, and right on cue one of the pups barks and I glare at the baby. Nerd, you have to be kidding. Bakugo says. Irritated. I wasn't going to leave them in the park alone. I defend myself. Whatever. He sighs, leaving, and me and the two others go in my room. There are 4 of them. Okay, come here. I say softly, taking them out one at a time and placing them on my bed. They were panicking, not understanding what was happening, which broke my heart once again. It's so sad. I cry looking at my new babies. How can someone abandon them like that? I sob looking at them. Oh shit, he's actually crying. Shin curses and hugs me in reassurance. It's okay, you found them and you'll give them a good home, okay, Zuku. Shin reassures me and I nod and he lets go. I sit on the bed next to the puppies as they all move to be closer to each other, and it was too adorable for my heart to bear. So that song of yours? Sho asks, doing a complete change of subject, and I smile at them and take my keyboard and place it on his stand. Okay. I take a deep breath before starting to play. Like a small boat on the ocean sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion, and all those things I didn't say. Wrecking ball inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song, take back my life song, prove I'm alright song, my powers turned on starting right now, I'll be strong, I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me, losing friends, and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me, in too deep, say I'm in too deep, and it's been 2 years. I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe in all those things I didn't say. Wrecking ball inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song, take back my life song, prove I'm alright song, my powers turned on starting right now, I'll be strong, I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me, like a small boat on the ocean sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song, take back my life song, prove I'm alright song. My powers turned on starting right now, I'll be strong, I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. I take a deep breath, my eyes were watery, but I quickly rub my eyes and it goes back to normal. What did you think? I ask with a small smile. Even the pups stopped whining to listen, so I'll let you guess how good it was. Sho says with a small proud smile. Emotional damage. Shin says, imitating the meme, making me laugh. Okay, so should I ask Lita to release it? Yes. They say in sync, making me smile as I put the keyboard away and I look at them with the best idea in the world. Ice cream. I say, excited. Zuku, it'd be your 3rd in less than 24 hours. Calm down. Shin tries to resonate, holding my arm. It's okay, I'll accept diabetes if it means I get ice cream. I say, excited. You're told you're cancer-free and the day after you're planning on getting diabetes. Sho asks sarcastically. Okay, I get it. I sigh loudly, and when he lets go I do a run for it and go to the kitchen, and they run after me and I grab my personal ice cream pot. I win. I smile proudly, but before I can take a bite, my pot is taken from me. Are we going to have to put a lock on your freezer? Shin asks, holding the container higher than where I could reach. I'm older than you, I get my ice cream. I cross my arms, glaring at him. Izuku, we're serious. If you're not careful with what you eat, it could come back or get another disease. I know one day won't hurt, but knowing you, it could be every day. So please be careful. We love you, but I have stressed enough on not knowing if you'd live the next day. Sho says calmly, and I look at him feeling guilty. I know he's right. It was a miracle I survived it once. I can't allow myself to go through it again or I'd die. I'll be careful. I promise, I say sadly, and Shin chuckles, ruffling my hair, and puts the ice cream away. Don't worry, we're happy you're okay now. He smiles sincerely and I nod. Okay, enough depressed talking. Wanna go get dog food for the pups? I ask them and they nod in agreement. I'll just go grab my stuff. I warn them before running off to my room. I take a bunch of pillows and put them on the ground, transferring the puppies there so they don't hurt themselves falling from the bed. I'll be right back, okay? I whisper, petting them one at a time before I grab my stuff and run out, locking my bedroom door in the way. Let's go. I smile at my friends running out. Izuku POV, I'm pretty popular if I'm being honest. I have 1 million of followers on YouTube and it turns around those numbers on my different social media accounts. So it was no surprise that I received many requests from different musical agencies to perform under their names. But to be completely honest, Lita's agency was the only one that interested me. They were very friendly, and yes, they were professional, but they remember that you're human and don't push you to do things you're not comfortable with. So when it came to my identity that I wanted to be kept hidden from the public, they understood perfectly and adapted for my needs. Tenya Lita is my manager. He is strict on rules but is also very kind-hearted. I considered him more as a friend than a manager. That's one of the reasons I'm always so happy to get his feedbacks. That was what I was doing today. I was waiting in my studio for his arrival to show him the last song I've been working on. I then look at the door to see a tall man with black hair and rectangular glasses enter. Good morning, Midoriya. Good morning, Lita-kun. I smile, getting up to greet him. He goes to sit in front of the console and turns the chair to look in my direction. Oh, and Lita, I have something important to tell you. I say in a low, depressing tone. What happened? Are you okay? He asks, worried. It's my cancer, Lita-kun. He was looking at me worried. I give a moment of depressing silence before smirking evilly, making him frown. There isn't anything left. It's all gone. He then laughs shortly from relief. Midoriya, don't scare me like that. He says, hugging me tightly. That's the best news I've heard all week. He exclaims. We were both smiling, and I then remember the reason of my visit. Oh, and I also finished writing the song I've been working on. Then let's hear it. He smiles and I nod, going in the cubicle and grabbing the mic and a keyboard. Ready when you are. He says, and I nod, taking a deep breath before doing a thumbs up for him to put play at the background music. Time skip brought to you by someone who doesn't want to rewrite the lyrics again. I love it. Lita comments once I finish. I was also thinking of maybe explaining to my fans why I wrote this song. What it means to me. And maybe it can inspire people in some type of way. And also do my first public appearance. Online, of course. I explain with a small smile, leaving the cubicle nervous. It would be a nice idea. He smiles, agreeing with my idea. Great. I smile brightly and I notice him quickly whipping his tears. Wait, Lita, are you crying? Asked my friend, worried. It's just. When I hired you, I wasn't sure if you'd even make it. I didn't know if you'd make it the next day, and every time you had to be hospitalized was terrifying. I may be your manager, but I also consider you my friend. So this song, it just proves that you never lost hope, and it hits the feelings pretty hard. He explains with a proud smile, and this time it was my turn to hug him. Thank you, Lita. How did your mom react? I'm going there right now. I wanted to tell her face to face, not over the phone. I explain. Great then, head off and try not to scare her while telling her. He says playfully. No promises. Bye, Lita, call me. I laugh, leaving the studio. I ran to my car and put my music before taking my phone out to text my mom. Me, hey ma. I'm on my way to visit, is it okay? Her, of course honey. I'll be waiting. I close my phone satisfied and start driving. I sang along and I was happy, like really happy. I'll stop worrying everyone with my sudden relapse. I was scared I wouldn't survive at some point, but I didn't completely give up. I was ready if it came, but I still hoped and I wanted to live. Other than Shoto and Hitoshi, I never really had friends. Sometimes I'd hang out with their friends, but they weren't mine. I used to have one, Ochako Uraraka. She was younger than me and we met in music classes. When I was diagnosed with cancer, she dropped me because she told me she didn't have time to waste with someone who was going to die anyways. Funny story. She's Bakugo's girlfriend. Small world, huh? Lucky for me, she ignores me and I do the same. It's easier that way, it avoids unwanted awkward situations. I put myself in enough as it is. I finally arrived at my mom's place and get out my car. I walk up the stairs and knock on the door, which was pretty useless since I entered on my own. "Hey ma." I say loud enough so she acknowledges my presence. "Izuku. It's been so long." I smile seeing my stepdad. "Hey Toshi." I smile hugging him and my mom arrives quickly. "Zuzu." She says, hugging me carefully. Since I was sick, she always was scared to hurt me, which was sweet, but sometimes I hoped she'd treat me normally. "Hey." I smile hugging her back. "Are you okay? Do you need something?" She asks, worried, touching my forehead for a fever making me laugh. "I want you to take a seat. I went to the doctor 2 days ago and I have something important to tell you." I give her a sad smile and she looks at me panicked and helps me to the kitchen along with Toshi. Okay, I know I shouldn't make it sound like a bad thing, but it makes it even better once you tell them. "Izuku, what happened? Is it getting worse?" She asks, anxious, and I shake my head smiling, making her sigh in relief. "Quite the opposite actually," I say, smiling brightly, and she looks at me waiting for me to continue. "Ma, Toshi. I'm cancer-free. There isn't one drop of it left." I smile and my mom jumps, throwing herself to hug me. "Oh my God. Zuzu." She cries happy tears. "We need to celebrate. We're going out." My mom cries, running to get ready, making me and Toshi laugh, not completely understanding what was happening. I wasn't expecting to hear that today, that's for sure. He laughs shortly before hugging me. "I know I haven't been there all along, but I'm so happy for you. Thank you, you've done so much for me and my mom. So thank you, Yagi, thank you for everything." I smile as we end our embrace. "Do you have an idea where we're going?" I ask him and he shakes his head. Not a clue, but I should change in more presentable clothes. He laughs, walking off. He was wearing an oversized t-shirt with baggy black cargo briefs. Mom would kill him if he were to go out like that. I wait by the entrance, scrolling through my phone, waiting for them to come back. "Let's go," my mom says, grabbing her purse, and we take 2 different cars since I'll probably directly go back home after. I follow her once on the road since I didn't have a clue on where we were going. After a while we arrive at some place and I smile. We haven't come here in a while. I laugh to myself, joining the 2 others. "Come on, Zuzu." She smiles, pulling my arm. "Last time I came here was when we learned I was in remission." I laugh at the memory. That time it was Sho and Shin that came with. We may or may not have done a total mess. After we got in, we were directed at a 3-place table and he leaves to grab us water while we get ready to order. "Inko?" some blonde woman asks, catching my mother's attention. "OMG. It's me, Mitsuki." The lady says, smiling, and my mother smiles, hugging her tightly. "OMG. I'm so happy to see you. What's new?" my mom asks cheerfully. "I opened my own modeling agency and today I came to eat with my brat. I'm actually waiting for him right now," she explains. "That's so nice." Mom smiles at her. "Is this some sort of reunion? I'm kinda confused." I was talking discreetly to my stepfather to not bother the 2 others. "We're on the same page," he whispers back, and I watch their conversation go on. "I'm here to celebrate for my son actually," my mom says with a huge smiles. "Oh, did something happen?" she asks, excited. "He was just announced that he had a full remission of his cancer." She squeals, excited. "I'm so happy for you too. And what's your name?" she asks me. "Izuku Midoriya, nice to meet you." I bow politely. You can call me Mitsuki or Auntie, no need to be so formal. She says, hugging me tightly. You raised him so well, Inko. She says in awe to my mom, and I blush sitting next to Toshi, embarrassed. Hopefully I don't get an introduction. He sighs and I smirk evilly. Ma, did you present her to Toshi? He's your boyfriend after all. I ask my mom, who quickly introduced them to each other. Yagi gave me a death glare and I form a heart with my hands with the pure intention of mocking him. He looked so uncomfortable in all the attention, it made it hard to hold in my laughter. But, old hag, what the hell? I jump as someone talks loudly from behind me. Inko, this is my son. His name is Katsuki. He's not as polite as your son, but I tried my best. Mitsuki laughs at her own humor and I sigh loudly. What's the nerd doing here? He asks annoyingly. Both our moms were looking at us confused. I already know him, he's my roommate. I answer their unspoken question. Oh my god. The world is so small. Mitsuki squeals. That doesn't answer my FING question. Bakugo repeats, irritated. I recognized Inko. She's an old friend of mine. As for them, they're here to celebrate Izuku's recovery. She explains, excited, and Katsuki just looks at me confused. He has no clue what recovery she was talking about. What the F did you have? Think cold. He asks, annoyed, and I sigh knowing it would come out from one of their mouths. He actually doesn't know that I was sick. We're roommates but aren't really close. I explain with a small smile. Katsuki, I didn't raise you to be like that. You should know a little more about the person you live with. She scolds him. In his defense, we each have our own lives, Auntie. Anyways, it's not that important. It wouldn't affect him unless if it got worse, since he would have to move. Other than that, I didn't see the need to tell him. I explained to her and my mother looks at me like she didn't understand my reasoning at all. Izuku had cancer. To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't notice. He's extremely thin and has huge eye bags. Doesn't give the impression of a healthy kid. This is not helping my insecurities, Mom. He just looks at me with a frown. It's okay, Ma, no need to tell everyone. I laugh awkwardly. But it's such a huge deal, Zuzu. You've been fighting for 7 years. It's something some doctors didn't even think was possible. My mom says, and I sigh sitting down. It was awkward. I'm sorry for making things awkward. I whisper. No, you didn't, Izuku dear. Let's eat all together, Inko. We have things to catch up on. Mitsuki says, and my mom agrees, and soon enough we were all sitting together. Well, that's a twist to my evening. I was seated with Toshinori at my left and an empty chair at my right. On the other side was my mom, in front of Yagi, Mitsuki, in front of me, and Bakugo, in front of the empty chair. Is that the guy that made out with his girlfriend in all the apartment? Toshi asks in my ear. The one and only. I sigh. He does look like the type. He says, and if I had water in my mouth it would have gone everywhere. Please marry my mother already. I laugh, trying not to be heard. Already have the ring. He smirks and I look at him wide-eyed. Seriously? I whisper, shout, and he nods. Was going to ask for your approval first, so. Can I? He asks nervously and I nod frantically. Could. He sighs in relief. Would be embarrassing if you said no. What are you boys talking about? It seems quite interesting. My mom asks. Just father-son bonding moment. I say unsure and she smiles brightly and nods, going back to her conversation. Sorry, I panicked. I sigh to my stepfather, who was laughing softly for referring myself as his son. I wouldn't mind, but still. No worries, son. He says reassuringly and I chuckle. Also, did you have an idea of how you're going to ask? Nothing big, I know she likes simple things. He explains and I nod in approval. Then you have my full blessing. I say like a wise man before laughing and drinking water, and I notice Bakugo staring. Are you okay? I ask him, concerned. None of your DMN business. He looks at me irritated and I respond with a smile. I then turn back to Toshi, who was giving me a questioning look. And you're living with him? He asks, concerned. He pays rent, okay? It's hard to find people who respect the deadlines. I defend myself. And we barely talk, so I don't mind that he acts like an but. I'll see you soon. I love you. I kiss my mother on the cheek and give a fist bump to Toshi before walking off. Need a ride? I offer Bakugo, who shrugged his shoulder, following me to my car, and we both enter in an awkward silence. I was driving for a while trying to ignore the weird silence until he breaks it. Why didn't you tell me? It's a FNG important information. He states, annoyed. The conversation was going to come sooner or later. Better get this over with. You never asked. I'm honestly surprised Uraraka never said a word. I point out, focusing on the road. Why would she FNG know? She didn't tell you either that she's an old friend of mine. I chuckle. We were friends, but when I was diagnosed with cancer, she left saying that she didn't want to deal with it. Even I wouldn't do that. It's okay, at least I know she wasn't a real friend. I shrug my shoulders. Now back to why didn't you FNG tell me? He questions me again. Because it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, I was pretty stable when you moved in, so I wasn't that scared that you'd find a dead body. I say, trying to make it sound less big of a deal, which he didn't find funny. Is that why you'd leave for long PRDS of time? He asks, connecting the dots. Didn't think you noticed, but yeah. I confirmed to him. So that beach ditched you because you were FANG sick? He asks, annoyed. Don't call your girlfriend a beach, Bakugo. She ain't my girlfriend. He spats and I snort. 'Cause you're gonna the same person for 2 years and tell me you don't have any feelings. I ask mockingly. No shit, Sherlock. We're just FANG around, no strings attached. He says firmly. I don't get you sometimes. I chuckle. Don't you F with the 2 guys that are always there. No way in hell. I laugh at his weird ideas. So why do you see them so often? We've known each other since middle school. We just got used to being together, I guess. I explain with a small smile. Now mind to tell me why the sudden life questioning. I ask, amused. The hag made a point saying I didn't know shit about your life. He shrugs his shoulders. Right. Anyways, that's pretty much it about me. What about you other than your age, name, and that you're at school and all? I don't know anything about you. I say to him. I play football, studying to become a therapist. Most of my income comes from the hag and scholarships since I'm focusing on studying and shit, so I don't have a job right now. He explains. I'm perfectly healthy and not hiding big important info, unlike someone I know. He says, sarcasm flowing the air. Nice life you got there. I say playfully. The rest of the ride is peaceful and we go back inside and I go to my room, checking on the pups that I left alone for the day. Good you're all there. I sigh in relief, getting back up to put my stuff down and closing my door completely. I take out my phone and open my friend's group chat. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. I close my phone and plug it on the charge. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. I close my phone and plug it on the charge. I look at the pups who were walking around, making me smile in awe. I'll make sure you guys live good lives, I promise. I smile before making sure the food and water bowl were full. I close the lights and jump on my bed. Soon enough, I was in a whole new universe of slumber. Izukuvi, I was laying on my bed, laying like a starfish, looking at my ceiling, feeling like crying. Zuku, you have to find a new family for them. They won't be happy stuck in a small apartment. They are going to be big dogs and they'll need a place to spend their energy. Shin tries to resonate me. But we can't separate them. They're brothers and sisters. I cry and he sighs. Continue trying to find a family with a farm that want to take care of 4 big dogs, or use my advice and try finding a suitable family for each of them. I know a friend that would love to take one. But how do I know he won't make him a street fighter? I ask, anxious, and both my friends give me a, "Are you serious?" look. Would I be recommending someone that I think wouldn't be able to take care of him? He asks, raising an eyebrow. And if you accept, I'll take one. I wouldn't mind the company. Sho reassures me. I love you, but I'm a cat person. I ain't taking any of them. Shin says, firmly, making me laugh. So it would leave one more to find a family for. I think out loud. You mean two? Shin corrects me. Did you really think I wouldn't keep one? I ask mockingly and he rolls his eyes. Seriously, Hitoshi. I'm gonna start doubting that you actually know Izuku. Sho laughs at him. Well then, one family. Shin says in defeat. The vet told me they were okay to be separated, but the owner has to follow all recommendations on how to take care of them. I think out loud. My mom doesn't have enough energy with her work to take care of him. I'm not putting him for sale. Arg. I have no one. I whine. I could ask my friend if he knows anyone. He explains and I nod. Who is this friend? I ask him, raising my head to look at him. Denki Kaminari. We're at the same class. He explains. I hum in response. Try that, but I'm meeting him first. I don't want it to be a secret creep because I have good judgment. I say firmly, making them laugh. Okay, I'm gonna ask him to come over now. Shin laughs and I sit up in one brusque swing. No. I yell, panicked, making everyone else in the room jump. Fing hell, Izuku. Don't yell like that. Shinso complains and I laugh awkwardly. Sorry about that. I sigh. I was just not ready mentally to have people over. Hitoshi was able to confirm that Kaminari was coming and he had two friends that lived together that were interested in having a puppy. Wait, so you're telling me you went behind my back to find families for them? Before I even thought of it? I asked, glaring at him menacingly. First off, yes, because we all know you won't do it if we don't push you. Second, stop glaring at people like that, you just look adorable. He mocks me and I hit his shoulder. He has a point. Sho says, shrugging his shoulders. I thought we were friends. I cry and we all end up laughing. So tomorrow you're singing the song in a live stream? Shin asks, changing the subject. Yeah, I'm doing it in my studio, so if you guys want to come, you're more than welcome. I smile and they nod. I don't have any classes after 11 a.m., so I should be good. Shin says after looking at his schedule on his phone. I finish at noon. Sho says after doing the same. We're starting the live at 12:30, so Shin, I can pick you up and Sho, you can join us there. I smile and they nod, agreeing with my plan. So, still can't show off to people that I'm friends with the famous singer Deku? Shin asks playfully. I mean, you could, but I don't think that many people actually know me. I laugh. Dude. You just got 50,000 followers since your first live stream was announced. Shin smirks. And you already had over 1 million. Why, but dash, I'm cut. And I keep hearing people talk about the great Deku doing the first appearance. Shin says, mocking me. Same here, and I'm in finances and it's all people who are not up to date. So you have to be popular or talented for that. Sho adds. I feel honored. I say dramatically. So it's official, I'm putting on my page. Best friend of Deku, follow me. Shin smirks evilly and takes out his phone. I swear to dash. Before I could finish, he shows his phone and he actually did it, making me burst in laughters. I will do the same on my father's hate page. Sho adds seriously and I laugh even more. After a few more minutes, Shin gets a notification. My friend texted me that he's here. I jump out of bed and they follow me to the entrance. You open, I don't know them. I say, pointing to Shin. It's your place. He says back, not listening to my order. I'm older, I make the rules. Before he could even reply, Sho opens the door. You two are children. Sho says, letting the 3 people get in. They were all so cheerful, it was definitely not what I was used to. Hey, I'm Denki Kaminari. The yellow-haired boy smiles. Ijiro Kirishima. The red-head adds. I'm Mina Ishido. The pink-haired girl adds. I'm Izuku Midoriya, nice to meet you. I was going to tell them to follow me when they were all looking behind me like they saw a ghost. Bakugo. When I turn around, I see a shirtless Bakugo drying his hair with a towel, walking to the living room. What the hell are you idiots doing here? He asks, annoyed and confused. To see Midoriya for the puppies he has. What are you doing here? Kaminari asks, confused. I live here. But Are you two a thing? Mina asks suspiciously and I laugh. No, he's my roommate. I explain and they sigh in disappointment. Me who thought he finally left that other girl to find someone reasonable. Mina complains. Shut the F up already. I dumped her but after. It's none of your business. He storms back to his room annoyed. We were all standing there awkwardly after this interaction. Okay. I say awkwardly. Wanna see the puppies? I ask them and they nod following me to my room. Anyways, why are you living with someone like Bakugo? Kirishima asks. Because he pays rent, he pays his part for food, doesn't rely on me to cook, and doesn't intrude my personal life. It's actually really hard to find people that do that. We get in front of my door and I look at them. Try not to be too loud, they're still a little anxious. I explain and they nod so I open my door. Mina silently squeals, entering looking at one of the pups in awe. I'm keeping him. Her. I didn't name them yet, so feel free to give her a name. Asuna. She says quickly. Can I keep her please? She asks looking at me. As long as you take care of her, I just want to make sure they won't be put in an environment that would make them unhappy. I explain and she nods. I'll take care of her like my life depends on it. She says confidently, making me crack a small smile. I'll trust you, and if I learn you did anything that could hurt her, I will hunt you down and murder you. I say firmly and she gulps, nodding. Don't worry, he won't do it, he can't even hurt a bee. Shin reassures her, mocking me along the way. But the bee did nothing wrong. He stung me and I learned that if I let him free himself, he can leave without loosing his stinger and live. He could go back to his family. I cry and Sho taps my shoulder in compassion. And he couldn't go back home since you killed him. I cry, pointing in accusation at Hitoshi, earning a few gasps. That's brutal, men. Kirishima says, defending me. Agreed. Kaminari nods. Okay, let's go back to the puppies. Shin says, bringing our attention elsewhere so he doesn't get attacked more. Right. I chuckle, sitting on my bed, letting my personal favorites sit on my lap. So, Danks, is there one that you'd like? Shin asks his friend. That one. It's Pikachu. He says in awe, pointing at the one that was chasing his own tail. He looks dumb like you, that's for sure. I turn to see that Bakugo that was leaning against the door frame, looking around my room. What's that supposed to mean? Denki says, offended. That you're dumb. We all hold back laughters at the mini tantrum Kaminari does, and his brain flips ASWs, bringing him to the bubbly boy I met minutes before. Anyways, can I keep him? Pretty please, with a cherry on top. Denki asks, doing puppy eyes, and the pup jumps on his lap, looking at me the same way. As long as you take care of him. If I learn that you hurt him, Shoto cuts me. Stop trying to threaten people, you just look like a child. Don't worry dude, he's my new child. I'll live with the only goal of making him feel like the god Pikachu. He says, dead serious, making us all laugh. I trust you, but if ever either of you realize you can't take care of them, tell me and I'll take them back and find another family. I won't be mad or anything, I just want the best for them. I say with a small smile, and they all nod in understanding. Good, I brought them to the vet already. And they have all the shots they needed for now. I have the papers with the information they were able to give, like the breed, approximate age, weight, and the vaccines given. I'll trust you to take it from there. I explain, and once they agree, I go to my desk and take the respectful papers for each dog. Also for the food, I'll give you small bags that should last a few days so you have time to get them their things. I explain. Do they still need milk or something? Mina. No, they are already around 2 months old and they already have the necessary nutriments to grow healthy. I explain. And do they do it on pads or do I need to take him outside? Kaminari. They are still small so I used pads, but maybe slowly showing them to go outside wouldn't hurt. Oh, and also, for socialization, you should wait before presenting them to dogs that you don't know since they have a few more shots to get, just for precaution so they don't get sick or whatsoever. I add the final detail I can think of. Thanks bro, is there anything else we should know about them? Kirishima asks. That's all. I say with a smile. Thank you Midoriya, I promise to do my best to take care of him. You have no clue how happy I'm right now. Denki looked over the moon. Don't worry, thank you for taking them. Here they'd probably become depressed over time if I keep more than one because of the lack of space and all. I smile. Anyways, wait a second and I'll get everything ready. I smile, taking out some small plastic bags and filling them for about 2 days of food before taking the papers and double-checking it was the right dog. Here you go. I smile, giving the stuff to the respective owner. We're going to head out so we have time to buy the stuff. Mina smiles. I smile back, leading them to the door, and soon enough, the door was closing behind them. I then turn to my friends, having an emotional breakdown. The puppies are gone. I cry to my 2 friends who both laugh at me. I found it weird you weren't crying your eyes out already. Sho says teasingly. But they looked so comfortable. The 2 babies looked happy with them and it makes me so happy. I cry. I then mentally flip a SWC. I should call the dog I'm keeping Vanilla. I say cheerfully. Stop suching subjects and emotions so suddenly. It's creepy. Shin laughs. Wanna know what happened in my brain to change subject this time? I ask, excited. Go on. He asks, amused. Okay, so I was thinking of being sad about the puppies leaving, and then it went to eating ice cream to eat my emotions, and after that, I thought about which sort, and then I thought of the dogs again and how their fur makes me think of Vanilla, and then I thought about my puppy and Tata. That's my thinking process of today. I smile proudly. You and your ice cream will be the death of me. Sho sighs. No, but it's true. Vanilla would be a perfect name. I smile. Or you can call him Deku. Shin says, teasing me. I can't do that, Shin. It sounds like I'm full of myself. I whine. You could maybe call him King. Sho suggests. Perfect. I yell, excited. Stop screaming. They both say in sync. I stick out my tongue and Hitoshi rolls his eyes. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go. I have FING homework. Same. Sho starts putting his shoes on. After a few minutes they leave and I go back to my room. What are you doing here? I ask Bakugo, who was playing with one of the puppies, and gets up quickly, embarrassed. None of your business. That one's King. He's the one I'll be keeping. I point the dog he was playing with. I don't care. He says, standing there hiding his hands in his pockets annoyingly. It's okay to like dogs, Bakugo. Anyways, I'm keeping him, so if you're thinking of making out in every room in the apartment, think about his innocent eyes. I tease him, taking the puppy and playing with the back of his ear. I dumped her, but I already told you. I won't be making out or FANG anyone. He says, irritated. I don't mind that you do, just use your room that you're paying for. I laugh and he scoffs. Whatever, nerd. He rolls his eyes. Also, why are you talking to me all of a sudden? If it's because of what you learned last time, no need to pity me, I hate pity. I explain. I don't have FING pity for no one. I FING live with you and didn't notice sheet. I ain't letting that happen 2 times. He says, annoyed. Okay then, just don't force yourself because you feel like you have to do it. I say with a small smile. I ain't forcing myself to do sheet. I don't do things I don't want to do. Okay then, anyways, was there a reason you came in my room? I have nothing to do. He shrugs his shoulders, bored. You got a few instruments. You play? He asks, looking at my different instruments in my room, which consisted of a guitar, a keyboard, and a ukulele. Yeah. And you write for a living, right? Yes. You could say that. I smile, putting the pup that I was holding next to his brother. What do you mean? He asks curiously. I write, that's all there is to know. I laugh. He gets that I didn't want to talk about it more and we stay in a small silence. Anyways, did you hear about the live stream tomorrow of that singer Deku? He asks and I almost choke. You listen to him? I ask, kinda shocked. Why wouldn't I? He asks, confused. Why? And yes, I heard of tomorrow's live. I smile at him calmly. What's your favorite one? I ask him. Someone to You, he answers. Someone to You by Banners. Yeah, that one's nice. My personal favorite is Older. I smile at him. Older by Alec Benjamin. That's an old one. He laughs. No, it's not. It was only 4 years ago. It was maybe one of the firsts, but it's not that old. I defend my song's honor. He rolls his eyes playfully. Anyways, do you think he'll show his face? I don't know, I don't think so though. I answer him. That's also what I thought. He sighs loudly. See ya. He says suddenly and getting up to leave. I never would have though that my roommate was a fan. Izuka POV. I was in the college parking lot waiting for my friend while listening to music on the radio. Bam, I jump almost having a heart attack and turn to the source of the noise. It was Shinso who hit his hands on the passenger seat window. He opens the door laughing as I give him the best death glare I could. I swear to God I will make you pay if you break my window one of these days. Come on. We wouldn't want to be late, Deku. Shin mocks and I roll my eyes starting to drive. So everyone knows that I'm friends with Deku now. He says proudly and I laugh. I thought you were kidding when you said you'd brag about it. You even got new people who'll be watching your stream today. I did good advertising. People better not be learning who I am. I say joking but also serious. No worries. Mouth shut. He laughs pretending to zip his mouth shut. Anyways, I discovered an other's secret admirer of mine. I laugh. Oh, Lady Gaga. He asks and he almost looked serious. No, I meant Michael Jackson. I say sarcastically, making both of us laugh. You bring back the dead now? He asks mockingly. I still think he's alive. He's probably hiding and one day he'll be like, I'm back beaches. I laugh at my theory. Don't tell me you're a conspirationist. Shin whines. It's just a part-time job. I shrug my shoulders. Then we're part-time friends. He responds. Offer refused, I only take full-time. I tease. Sheet. He curses under his breath, making me laugh. Wanna hear another theory? I offer him. He answers. Too bad. Okay, so, you know how we find potatoes in many meals or snacks? I ask and he nods cautiously. Well, what if the potatoes were staying in our system until every person on Earth ate some? They would all be able to take control of us and we'd be doomed. I explain and he sighs. How high were you when you thought of that? He asks discouraged. I had just woken up from anesthesia, okay. My mom told me afterhand. I explain embarrassed and he laughs. I would have loved to see that. I give a sarcastic smile as a response. Thanks for the support, man, very appreciated. I say sarcastically, making him laugh even more. So still planning on doing the story time. It sounds like those people on TikTok when you say it like that. I whine. But yes, I am. Am I gonna need tissues? Or popcorn, you choose? I crack a smile remembering the little surprise I had for them. Wait, I just realized I never got a serious answer. Who's that secret admirer of yours? He asks. Alright, I forgot. I laugh embarrassed. Bakugo, my roommate, was talking to me about his favorite songs of Deku and things like that. I explain. He was fanboying to you about you. He asks amused and I nod. I didn't know what to say except fanboying back. I cry and he bursts in laughters. I so should have been there to see that. But what was I supposed to do? I whine. Call me and let me listen to the conversation. He says like it was obvious and I was stupid for not thinking of that. Right? Sorry, stupid brain didn't think of that. I say sarcastically. It's okay, Zuku, everyone has their moments. He talks to me like I was 5 years old. You're the worst. I complain, pulling up to the studio. I didn't even really realize we were already here. And yet you still talk to me. He retorts confident. Only because you're one of the few who talks to me. If I could, I'd replace you in a second. I joke and he pretends to be offended. Me who thought we'd become crippled together. He fake cries. You'll end up crippled at 30 with the amount of coffee that you drink, so don't expect for me to become crippled with you. I tease getting out the car and closing my door and he does the same. I take the keys and press the button to lock and hear the lock switch and I finally start heading inside with Shin. The automatic doors of the building slowly open and we head inside. No, but seriously, the amount of coffee you drink is the amount of water you should drink in a day. I exaggerate his coffee obsession, but just a little. We were having an argument about it until we arrived close to my studio and noticed Lita waiting in front. Hey Lita. I waved to my manager who smiled coming up to me. Right on time. So we want to see if you would be okay with a hoodie and a mask. Honestly, you put the hood on and you only have the eyes showing. Perfect for me. And for the song presentation, you could either be back to the camera or just look down taking your mask off. You choose. Okay, thanks Lita. I answer before following him to where I'd perform. You can change and we start in, he says handing me some clothes and leaving me with Hitsoshi. I put the green hoodie over my t-shirt and keep the black mask on my wrist to put on later. Okay, so, can I throw a tantrum or can Sho advertise for his dad's hate page? Shin asks as a joke. Do that and you're never stepping foot in here again. I glare at him and he laughs sitting on one of the couches. There was 5 minutes left before it was going to begin. Midoriya, are you ready? Lita enters the room. Yeah. I smile before turning to Shinso. Say hi to Sho when he gets here. He does a thumbs up and I go in front of the camera that was still closed. I take a deep breath and put the black mask and the hood on and I look at my reflection to make sure I looked okay. Ready? Lita asks and I take a deep breath to calm my nerves. Ready? I smile. I then see the red light on the camera and there's a screen where I could see myself, the comments and the live count. We were only a few seconds in when there was a bunch of comments and shares appearing. Sheet already, I curse under my breath more than surprised. I shake my head and blush realizing I was in front of now thousands of people. Well, this is my first time actually doing any sort of appearance, so hi, I'm Deku, and I'm going to explain why I never did anything else than publishing songs. After that I'll be performing live a new song that is going to be released. God, this is awkward. Am I supposed to wait? I ask Lita that was sitting not far and he shakes his head discouraged. Alright. I take a deep breath and look through the comments and I blush. It was compliments or people saying how happy they were and I was smiling under my mask. Already 3K people. I think out loud. Anyways, I'm going to start explaining and after I'll sing. I say playing with my hands nervously. I look at my friends who did encouraging thumbs up. Sho must have joined meanwhile. I take a deep shaky breath. Okay, so I'll start with the basics. When I was around 17, I was diagnosed with leukemia, which was 1 year before I started singing under the nickname Deku. I couldn't post regularly because I was too tired from the different treatments or procedures I had to go through. I wrote and sang in my free time at first and I started to grow, which honestly wasn't expected. I admit laughing shortly. Anyways, I was hospitalized in and out and I only had 11% chance to survive. I wasn't doing appearances because I didn't look good, not at all. I wasn't responding correctly to most treatments, so we were prepared for the worst. I had a bucket list that I almost completed with my 2 friends, the only 2 that stayed all along of my life. But I kept low profile since I didn't want to take engagements I couldn't hold. When I was 19, I was living off of machines, and when I was 20, I had a bone marrow transplant. It was our last hope. I was lucky and after a while, I was doing better. It was slow of course, but it was still amazing. I was 21 when I was announced in remission. The cancerous cells were slowly decreasing and the symptoms were leaving. Of course, I had to stay in the hospital a few times and continue the treatments for precautions. But when I knew I was really getting better, I signed a contract with my publisher. I took a step in my music career. I smile under my mask. That's why I wasn't doing any sort of appearances and I apologize for that. As for why I am doing one now, I'm happy to say that I've done a complete remission. There isn't any traces of cancer left. I hope you understand on the why I did what I did. And as for why I'm still hiding my face, that's because with my anxiety, I don't think I'd be able to take the pressure yet. I admit laughing from embarrassment. I was looking through the comments and smiled at all the positive comments. Anyways, like I said, the other reason of the live today was to perform my new song live before releasing it. Okay, I'll do it now before I chicken out. I laugh awkwardly taking out the keyboard. I can start. I ask Lita, who gives a thumbs up, and I nod. I put myself back to the camera and taking a deep breath. Okay. I mumble, bringing the mic closer. Fight song by Rachel Platten. After the song I wipe my tears, put the mask and turn back to the camera. I was really anxious. Yes. I hope you liked it or else it'd be kinda embarrassing. I laugh awkwardly as those in the room clap their hands and the live had a bunch of positive comments, likes and shares. Thank you for the love. It should be out by midnight on the usual platforms I publish on. Also, I know I said only one song, but I have another one that is dedicated to my friends. I owe both of them more than a happy meal, so I guess I'll start with a song. So this is for my best friends who never left my side no matter what happened. I say looking at them and they were both looking at me with many emotions showing. I take the mic and the guitar and let the background music start. Start song here, You Can Count on Me by Bruno Mars. Oh, if you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. When Show would run away and he'd stay in my house for weeks, sometimes to take breaks from his home life that was destroying him mentally. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. When we would stay with Hitoshi to make sure he slept, and when he really couldn't, we'd go out and have fun doing the stupidest things. We'll find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. But when I got sick, I couldn't do as much for them since the treatments were unbearable on my body and I barely had the energy to walk. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. When chemo started and I became bald, they both shaved their heads with me so I'd feel less ugly. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh, yeah, they even shaved their eyebrows for me. It was hilarious. Yeah, they would do wheelchair races in the hallways of the hospital the days I would feel more depressed, just so I'd smile again. If you tossin' and you're tennin', and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. When I had to spend nights in the ICU, they would bring movies and snacks since I couldn't sleep because of the pain. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, when I had to stop school, they would bring their homework and I'd help them with it, which made me feel like I was still there for them. We'll find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And there were the nights where Show sneaked in the hospital to sleep in my room because his parents were fighting again. The nurses weren't happy when they found him. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there, 'cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh, yeah, when I had my wish from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I used it to bring them with me at Disney World. Yeah, even if it ended with me in the hospital. But they actually managed to bring Mickey Mouse at the hospital with them to visit me. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry, even if I was the reason they were crying. Because we didn't know if it was my last time seeing them. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You know you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. But when I was told I had the perfect match and could get a bone marrow transplant, our hopes came back. We had a chance on not having to say goodbye. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there, 'cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh, yeah, even if it was hard on them too, they decided to stay because we were always there for each other. And if something would happen to them, I'd do the same that they did for me. You can count on me, 'cause I can count on you, and I know that no one or nothing can ever bring us up. I barely have time to put the guitar down and my mask back on before I got tackled to the ground by my 2 friends that had beanies on to hide their hair and masks. Lita must have planned this. I'm taking that as you liked it. I laugh. For F's sake. Tell us when you're writing a song for us. I'll bring ice cream. Shin laughs, helping me up along with Show. Guys, I'm still on stream though. I say, pointing to the camera, and the chat was going crazy. Alright. Hello humans. Shin says like he's talking to aliens. Idiot. I say, hitting the back of his head playfully. F endeavor. Show yells like a maniac child and I push them away, red as a tomato. Enough friend exposure for today. I say, pushing them off camera. Sorry about that. I say, embarrassed. People were saying things like, friendship goals, or bromance at its finesse, or, I know one of the guys, Okim. It was all for now and nice to meet you guys, and looks at the views, 1 million. I didn't think that was even possible. Are you sure there isn't a bug or something? I ask Lita, who laughs and confirms it was real. Wow. Well, I feel bad about leaving now. But I'll try to do something like this again soon. Bye for now. I wave at the camera, and once I see the red light close, I take off the disguise. Seriously. Endeavor. I ask Todoroki. Self-promotion. He answers, shrugging his shoulders. Wanna come over at my place? I ask them and they nod. What about you, Lita? Do you wanna come? I ask him and he shakes his head. I have work to do, maybe another time. He smiles and I nod. Bye then, see you soon. And thank you for literally everything. One of you two were recognized, just so you know. I sigh loudly. Self-promotion. Shin says, imitating Sho. You guys are unbelievably, I sigh loudly. But you still decided to dedicate us a whole song. Shin says, doing puppy eyes. Are you trying to make me regret it? Wait, Bakugo's a Deku fan, right? Then he must have seen the stream. Shin says, excited, please fanboy with him in front of us. Get in the car and no, I won't do it. I laugh. Sho, you joining us at my place? I almost forgot that he came in his own car. He answers with a thumbs up. See you in a few. I say, jumping in my own car with Shin. The next morning, Izuku POV, I wake up with a foot in my face. What the hell, Shin? I complain at the disgusting odor. He growls, moving his leg, allowing me to get up. My two friends were sound asleep. I go to the bathroom to rinse my face and brush my teeth. I go back to see Sho and Shin are still sleeping like big babies. I roll my eyes, amused at the position. Shin was laying his head on the end of the bed and his legs on my pillows. Sho was sleeping on my pillow, some saliva falling from his mouth. I exit the room, doing the less noise possible, and I go to the kitchen. I open the fridge by pure boredom and nothing catches my eye, so I sigh, taking a glass of water and drink it along with a few meds. I put it in the sink and start heading to the living room. I take a look at my phone and read the date, January 27th. I drop on the couch and start watching the live of yesterday, taking the time to read the comments, and some were funny, others were sweet. There were a few hate comments, but it was cute how other viewers were defending me. You couldn't watch it yesterday. I jump as a half-asleep Bakugo enters the living room. No, I was out, and after I had to go pick up Hitoshi. I explain and he nods. He looks cute. He says, dropping on the couch. Oh, that. I ask and he nods. We could only see his eyes though. I mumble. I know, just the way he was being was adorable. He mumbles and I hum, trying my hardest not to blush. And the two other guys at the end made Dunce and Shitty Hair laugh like crazy. Yeah, but it was sweet though. Right now I'm readying the comments and there are some who are really funny. Yeah, Dunce and Shitty Hair kept saying it was pure bromance and shit like that. He snorts. Who are those two? I ask, confused. The two idiots that were here last week. He answers. Kaminari and Kirishima. He nods, confirming my theory. Do you just not remember their names? I ask in amusement. Yeah, I FNG do. Their full names then? I ask, raising an eyebrow. Denki Kaminari and Eijiro Kirishima. He answers. Do you know my name? I test him and he blinks. Something Zukamito something. He says, completely destroying my name. Seriously, Bakugo. We've been living together for 2 years and you don't know my real name. I laugh and he rolls his eyes. Shut up, nerd. He grumbles. Izuku Midoriya, that's my name. I laugh. Yeah, I knew that. He grumbles, embarrassed. If you say so. I hum, going back to reading the comments, which made me smile. I'm curious who Deku is. His voice is really familiar, but I don't get from where. I internally panic at his remark. Would be funny if you knew him personally. I chuckle. Before he could speak more, someone stumbles out of my room half asleep. Good morning, Zuku. Shin says, going to the kitchen, and I laugh, getting up to join his coffee making, leaving Bakugo alone. I'm gonna start charging the coffee if you continue like that. I joke. You wouldn't. He glares at me. I definitely would. I laugh. He definitely would. Sho agreeing, entering the kitchen and grabs some milk. You don't want me to eat unlimited ice cream, but you drink unlimited coffee. That doesn't seem fair. I point out. Maybe, but I'm not the one on a million drags and almost died 3 times. Is that going to be your excuse for everything now? I ask sarcastically. You know me so well. You actually saved me a couple times. He says with no shame, and I sigh. How did I save you exactly? I ask, skeptical. I had an assignment I forgot that was due, and I told the teacher my best friend was at the hospital and I was spending as much time as possible with him since he could die at any moment. Which was technically not a lie. I did the same. Sho raises his hand guilty. At least they don't know it was because you were using your precious time doing wheelchair races in the hospital. I laugh. We had to make super memories and hey, we even had a whole fan club. Shin says with a proud grin. Oh, remember the time the nurse found Sho in Zuku's bed one of the nights he sneaked in? I was banned from pudding for a whole week for that. I whine. Did you learn your lesson? Shin asks playfully. Nope. I say, popping the pea. Oh, the time we used WHP cream to do fake hair and beards to all the chemo patients. I smile at the memory. We all had tummy aches after eating it all. Or the time Sho stole his father's credit card and did a Halloween party for the kids. Shin says and we all laugh. I swear that his father's reaction was priceless. We did dumb things in there. I laugh softly. I'm sure Recover Girl misses us. Sho smiles. Definitely. We did the best pranks in there. I smile. I should demand a whole statue devoted to the Wonder Trio. I joke. My father could pay. Sho offers. We could also go and you give a private concert to the kids. I remember they loved to hear you sing. Shin suggests and I hum. I could. I wonder if Gran Torino is still there. It's his birthday is tomorrow. I think out loud. He's made strong Zuku, don't worry about him too much. Shin reassures me. Yeah. I quickly try to get rid of my depressive mood. Anyways, what should we do today? Let's bring King to the park with Soba. I could ask Denki and his friends to join us there. Shin suggests. If you're wondering who's Soba, it's Shoto's dog. He named him after his favorite food. Yeah, good idea. I want ice cream. I say like a demon child. It's winter, you do know that, right? Shin confirms and I nod. In Canada, they eat ice cream at -10 degrees Celsius. And why is the ice cream truck there if it's not ice cream season? I continue proving my point even more. We lost this from the beginning. Go get King and join us at the park. I'll go grab Soba with Hitoshi. Sho sighs and I nod, running to my room. King, we're going out. I say, catching the puppy's attention, and he jumps at my feet excited. Good boy, King. I smile, petting his head. These kids grow up fast. I feel a draft of hot air and dizziness suddenly hit me. I sit down against the wall next to the door and King jumps on me, liking my face. I should really calm down on going out. My body still isn't used to being so active. I think out loud, focusing on staying awake. I continue taking deep breaths. Nerd, you good? I see Bakugo, who peeked in my room. Yeah, I'm good. I smile and he frowns. You're pale as F-. You look like you're about to F and you pass out. He points out. Just med side effects and all. Nothing to worry about. I smile. Need water or some sheet? This. Water wouldn't hurt, I have my bottle there. I say, pointing to my nightstand, and he gives it to me. Thanks. I mumble, drinking the water slowly, careful to not choke on it. And you've been dealing with sheet like this and I never effing noticed. He asks, more to himself than at me. Yeah, but it isn't that bad, don't worry. I try reassuring him. Sighs, that's not the point. He grumbles. You couldn't have known. I'm not my mom who yells everywhere that I was dying and that I'm a miracle child. I say playfully. Isn't that like annoying and sheet? Getting all that pity. He asks, sitting in front of me, which was also against my bed. Yeah, but she's like that. She doesn't mean anything bad by doing it, but it's still overwhelming sometimes. Especially when she tells older people that give all those juicy kisses. I say with a face of disgust. Is it that bad? He smirks and I nod. And being treated like I could break at nothing, or people that would say that they have a dying friend only because it gave them some attention. I didn't even know them. I sigh in annoyance. That's why you didn't tell unless it was necessary. He asks and I nod. How come you left to live in an apartment if you were sick? Couldn't you stay with your mom? He asks, confused. I couldn't endure it anymore. I'm grateful she would take care of me, I really am, but she would always be following me. She didn't even let me go up and downstairs alone. I felt powerless and it was annoying as hell, so when I was told I was in remission I decided that I would leave because I'd actually become depressed if I had to continue living like that. I explain. That's where I came in. Yup. I say, popping the pea. You feeling better? You came back to a more normal color. He points out. Yeah, I'll go join my friends at the park in a few. I smile. You good to go? He asks, concerned. Yeah, wanna come with? Shin was going to ask your friends to join us there. I offer him. Sure, I'll go grab my stuff. He says, getting up and helping me up along the way. I'll wait for you at the door. I say, and he nods as we both go. In our own direction. I warn my friends of our addition and they had no problem with it since the others were also joining. I was scrolling up and down on my phone, not doing anything except occupying my hands. Ready? Bakugo says, joining me at the front door. Are you planning on getting your license soon? I ask him, opening the door, letting King pass first. I have it, just saving up for a car. He answers, locking the door behind us, and I hum. Wanna drive then? I'm still a little lightheaded, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. I offer, embarrassed. Sure, nerd. He smirks, following me, and I give him the keys. It was silent and it was okay by me. I didn't know what we could even talk about anyways. It felt weird entering by the passenger seat since I'm always the one driving. Do you know anyone with green eyes? He asks suddenly. Me. I say, almost as a question. Other than you, I doubt you could be Deku. He snorts and I laugh. Well, there's my mom, but I doubt it would be her. I answer playfully and he rolls his eyes. Why do you ask? I ask him, curious. Trying though figure out who he is. He answers frankly and I try not to panic. Don't worry, Izuku, it's no big deal. Your roommate is trying to figure out your identity and he has no clue it's you. No big deal at all. But doesn't he want to keep his identity a secret? I ask him. Come on, Izuku, continue playing innocent. I know his voice, I recognize it, I don't know from where, but I do. I want to figure it out. He explains and I nod. I think I get it. I mumble. Aren't you curious? Of course, we all are. But it feels like I'm invading his privacy. I explain. I don't care, I'm still figuring it out. He grumbles in annoyance. Okay, Bakugo. I laugh. Why do you think Deku calls himself Deku? I ask him. Don't blame me for trapping him. I'm interested in my fans' opinion. Don't know. Means useless, he ain't fang useless, so I don't fing get it. He answers, sounding annoyed, like always. I think it sounds like Dikairu, which means you can do it. I think it might be related to his past. I explain, indirectly giving the correct answer. How the F did you come to that FNG conclusion? It was actually when I was sick I discovered Deku, and when I heard his name I actually misheard it. When I listened to his music I realized that he had to be going through something tough. His name's signification wasn't a coincidence, I'm sure of it. It was a way of remembering himself that he was going to make it even if people said it was useless. Well, that's what I like to believe. I explain. That's deep shit. He says, surprised, still concentrated on the road. I know. I laugh, taking out my phone. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. We get out of the car and I take King in my arms to go join Soba, Pikachu, Asuna and the other humans. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. We get out of the car and I take King in my arms to go join Soba, Pikachu, Asuna and the other humans. Is it just me or did they grow a lot? Mina asks, excited. Yes, it is normal at their age to have a quick growth, which is why we must assure that they get all the necessary nutriments since it can cause many problems if there are some missing. Sometimes it can be fatal. Sho explains and sigh. I forget how emotionless he becomes with strangers. Shin says before laughing shortly. Don't worry, men. You can just be yourself. Kirishima says happily. But my father I cut him. Shoto, no trauma dumping. I scold him and he nods. The others were looking at us perplexed. I'm the normal one in this group. Shin says, raising his hands, acting innocent, and I glare at him. You aren't normal. If someone is, I'm the normal one. I glare at him, fighting for my position. Oh yeah. Tell them about your potato conspiracy. Shin smirks and I just open my mouth to say something, but nothing comes out. The others were looking at us confused. In his defense, he was on drags. Sho defends me and I nod. Midobro. You do drags. I look wide-eyed at our other friends who all stood there shocked. Not those drags. Those the hospital give you, the good stuff only. I defend myself loudly just to realize how bad that sounded, and now a couple of people around were distancing themselves, bringing their kids, and I blush in pure embarrassment. Not sure you succeeded at defending yourself there, bud. Shin mocks me and I pout. By the good stuff he means the pain drags and anesthesia they give in hospitals. Sho explains for me and they all end up laughing. I got scared you were a drag addict there for a second. Kirishima says playfully and I laugh nervously. Sorry. I stutter. Why were you in the hospital? Kaminari asks. Just got sick is all. I'm okay now though. I smile and they nod. I also had to stay in the hospital once because I put a fork in the wall plug. Turns out the legends are true. You actually court circuit, Kaminari explains. General Hospital 5 years ago. I ask. Yeah. How did you know? He asks shocked and I laugh. I was in one of the pediatric units, the same one you were put in. I overheard doctors talking about doing a psychiatric exam on you since they thought it was on purpose. I explain and he chuckles nervously. Yeah, they did end up sending me for a psych evaluation. He admits and I chuckle. Wait. Weren't you the guy who sang every day? Yes. Yeah, it calmed down the kids a lot. I explain. I don't remember much, but weren't you bald? He asks curious. Yeah, I was in chemotherapy when you got admitted. Dunce, why the hell did you put a FNG fork in the plug? Katsuki asks concerned. At least the change of subject will avoid questions. Actually, I thought I saw something in the wall and tried to reach it. He explains like it was a normal thing to do. Was there something in the wall in the end? Shoto asks. I never got to know since it did a small explosion. All evidence was destroyed in the process. Kaminari sighs loudly. I heard if you aren't touching the ground when there's the shock, you won't get more than a small shock. No permanent damages. Shoto explains and I was just blinking. Why does he know that in the first place? OMG. We have to try. Kaminari jumps excited. No. We all say at the same time, looking at the two idiots. We'll do it when they're gone. Shoto says not so discreetly and Kaminari agrees. Sho no. Bad idea. I say like if I was scolding a kid. Now we have to babysit them. Bakugo asks irritated. Or send them to an asylum. Shin suggests. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I agree. And I thought we were friends. Sho says sadly. The key word is, thought Sho. I smirk and he does a overly shocked impression. Hey, that's my line. Shin complains. It's ours now. I tap his shoulder in compassion. We all end up laughing and start walking around with the dogs. Ice cream. I yell, handing the leash to Shin and running off. Izuku no ice cream. Hitoshi yells and I pull out my tongue. Hi, I'd like a cookie dough ice cream please. I ask the man in the van who nods and gives it to me and I hand him the money before joining the group once again. Can I have a bite? Sho asks and he bites directly in it, making me cringe. I'll never get used to this. I sigh, taking my ice cream back. He's a psychopath. Kirishima says wide. He was tested and he isn't. I sigh loudly. Was he really tested? Mina asks concerned. My father didn't like how I had no compassion for him. Sho explains. We were all in an awkward silence and thank God for Kaminari who made it less dark. I have ADHD. Kaminari says, raising his hand. I have insomnia. Shin raises his hand. I have PTSD. Sho raises his hand. I have OCD. Mina raises her hand. I have social anxiety. I raise my hand. I also have performance anxiety. Kirishima raises his hand. We all look in the direction of the only one with his hand down. I ain't effing mentally ill. Bakugo says in annoyance. Anger issues. Shinso asks secretly to the rest of the group and we all nod in agreement. Welcome to the mentally ill team. Kaminari does a proud thumbs up. How did we even get to this conversation? Bakugo sighs in annoyance. We all laugh and have fun walking around. 2 weeks later Izuku POV. Today we agreed to do a live stream and Shoto and Hitoshi were allowed to be with me since the fans like them a lot. Please remind me why I agreed to let you join. I asked them, dropping on the couch in front of the camera that was still closed. Because we're awesome. Shin grins. Because you want to promote my endeavor-hating page. Sho suggests and I face palm. But look at us. We have matching disguises. Shin says excited and I have to agree it was cool. We also had black masks on. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. We also had black masks on. I'm starting the camera. Ready? Lita asks and we nod. It's on. Lita says, letting us in an awkward silence. I don't know what to do. I admit, looking around. Say hi, you effing idiot. Shin says. Oh right. I mumble. Hi. I'm live today with these two of last time and well just chatting and all. Oh, and if you have questions ask ahead, I'll answer those I can. I say to the camera as I see a bunch of comments pop up. Are you guys dating? I read a question out loud. No way in hell. Shin laughs. Well, thanks. I say sarcastically. But no, I'll never date them. I confirm in a more polite way what Shin said. Why wouldn't you date me? Hitoshi asks, offended. Because I have good taste and standards and on that page you correspond at none of them. Well said. Sho smirks and I laugh as Shin pouts in the corner of the couch. What are your names? Shin reads out loud. SHMPF. I put my hand over Shin's mask. No real names, him coffee and him soba. I say, pointing to Shin first and Sho after. I like my name. Sho says. Why coffee? Shin asks. And why can't we say our names? He asks, confused. Number 1, you're always drinking coffee. Second, use your brain and you'll guess why. I say to him and he nods. Deku, are you single? Sho reads out loud. He's single for life. Shin laughs. You're no better. I retort. Actually, I have a date. He says smugly. What? I was shocked to say the least. Who in their right mind would want to go on a date with you? I ask. I wasn't kidding, I'm really serious. I must admit he is right, coffee. Sho backs me up. Ouch. Shin says, pretending to be stabbed. No, but seriously, who? I ask quietly so we can't be heard on the live. Denki. He answers in a whisper and I get up from shock. What? I almost yell in shock. A little reminder that we are still live. Sho says, pointing the screen, and I yelp, sitting back down. Sorry, shocker news. I bow and the cap of my hoodie comes down slightly and I pull it back over my head. Next question. Would you date one of your fans? I change subjects hoping it went unnoticed. I mean, maybe. I answer, unsure. Seriously? Shin asks. I mean, I don't know, it's a touchy subject since some people do it to use the other. If the person is honest and likes me for me and I like them back, then I guess it's a possibility that could be considered. I explain, unsure. You're a romantic. Shin says dramatically and I blush, hitting his shoulder. Shut up. I grumble, pouting. People are saying that you're cute. Sho says emotionlessly, pointing the screen, and I blush even more, hiding the little part of face that could be seen. This is awesome, keep complimenting him. Shin encourages and I sink in the couch. I'm never letting you in my live streams again. I cry. The comment section is forbidding you to do so. Sho says. You have an admirer. Shinso smirks. Chargebolt is Denki. Read his comments. He whispers and I do so and I blush. Chargebolt at Deku, my friend, has a huge crush on you. Please follow him. At Dynamite it was the same comment being spammed, so I take out my phone and to no surprise when I look at the Instagram page, I see pictures of Bakugo making me blush, but I follow him under my professional account. Dynamite. You have a new follower. Shin says excited and I blush even more. Shut up. I stutter. Love you too. Shin laughs and I glare at him. Wait. Isn't that B-? I cut Shoto who was looking over my phone. Yes it is. I confirm before he could tell a name. So how long have we been here? I ask looking for a clock. 1 hour already. I think out loud. At Uravity, please follow me too at Deku. I'm a huge fan. Uraraka did I willingly completely ignore her comment. Guys I think I'll end things for today, I'm tired. It was nice talking to you guys again and see you next time. I wave at the camera. Endeavor. Sho yells as the camera closes and I glare at him while Shin was laughing his butt out. I ignore their comments and open my DMs almost immediately. Hi. It's Deku, smiley face. It didn't take long for me to get a response. Dynamite, hi, this is Dynamite's friend, Denki Kaminari aka Chargebolt. Anyways, you just broke him, also his real name is Katsuki Bakugo, he should be back to normal in a few. Me, I'm so sorry. Dynamite, no worries, it's a good type of broken. You just allowed us to get a bunch of blackmail pictures. He never blushes like that. He's actually a very angry type looking guy, but he's chill once you get to know him. Winky face. Me? Oh, I understand. Well, if he wants he can text me later. And if you want to break him more, tell him that I find him cute. Oh, happy face. Oh, Dynamite, you're the best dude. He's totally broken now, clapping hands me. Nice meeting you, Kaminari-kun. Hope to talk to you again. Dynamite, sure dude. Thanks. I close my phone and notice Shin and Sho peeking over my shoulders and I blush realizing they probably saw the texts. Shut up. I glare at them. We didn't say a word. Shin says, raising his hands in defeat. We then hear the song of Pokemon resonate in the room and Shin takes out his phone. It's Kaminari, stay off frame for a second. He says, and we do so moving in front of him, which was also behind the camera. Hitoshi. Deku just texted Bakugo and he broke him. Kaminari laughs and I blush slightly. I need to see. Shin says with an evil smirk, and me and Sho looked discreetly and Bakugo was indeed broken. Shin mutes himself. Zuku, please come in the camera. We could break him even more. Shin pleads me and I sigh, nodding and placing my hood and mask properly. Okay, wanna break him more? Shin asks Denki after unmuting himself. What could be better than what he just did? Kaminari asks, and as a response Shin hands me his phone so I'm on the camera frame. Hi. I wave nervously and Denki's jaw drops. Hitoshi. I thought you were kidding in your bio. You're actually Deku's friend. Denki asks in shock. What do you mean Ibags is Deku's FING friend? I hear Bakugo ask confused in the background. Nice to meet you too. I chuckle as he looks in shock. Wait, do we also know him? Denki asks. Not personally, we already met though. I answer, it's a small lie and I'm really sorry about it. Sick dude. Kirishima was now also in the camera frame. I so wish I could see your real face. Denki whines and I chuckle. You'll figure out who I am sooner or later, don't worry. I smile under my mask. I think I know who you are. Denki mumbles and I shush him calmly. Talk to him about it, but don't tell the others please. I say, pointing to Shin, and he nods. I trust him, he doesn't seem like the type to betray people's trust. Anyways, I'll go because I wasn't kidding when I said I was tired. I laugh embarrassed. So talk to you soon. I smile as Shin takes me out the frame. Can't believe Kaminari is the first one to figure it out. Sho whispers as I take my mask and off hood. Not me, he's really observant and I had my doubts that he might be in the firsts. Next will probably Kirishima. I explain. I see. So you're interested in Bakugo? Sho asks curious. A little. At first I wasn't interested, but in the last weeks I've started to talk to him more and he can actually be nice. This is definitely going to be interesting. Sho says and I nod in agreement. We wait for Shin to finish his call and after what felt like forever he hanged up and we left after saying goodbye to Lita. Bakugo's a huge simp for you. Shin teases and I blush. Also, am I the only one to notice that Uraraka was in the comment section? Todoroki asks. I did and willingly ignored her comment. I smile and Shin ruffles my hair proud. You're growing up so fast. Shin says, whipping an imaginary tear. Oh, shut up. I laugh as we all go to my car and leave. Izuku POV. I was sitting on my bed, phone in hand, wondering if I should press send. It was a stupid message, but I had no clue how to start the conversation. Since the stream none of us send anything. What do I do, King? I ask my pup, who was resting his head on my lap as I petted the back of his ears. Am I just going to make things awkward? He barks, slightly raising his head to look at me and his tail wagging in every direction possible. I let out a small laugh at my adorable pup and finally make a choice. Me? Hi. It's a weird question, but could I call you Kakin? You can always say no though. I regret almost immediately on how childish and cringe that message sounded. I let out a small cry, alerting King, who jumped on my chest, pushing me to lie on the bed and drowns me with his juicy kisses. King. That's gross. I whine and laugh at the same time, which was accidentally encouraging him in his actions. He decides to sit on my face, and as much as it's adorable, if I let him do this now, he'll think it's okay while growing up. King, no. I say firmly while putting him next to me. He looks down, his ears going down, and I wanted to cry from how bad I felt. I decide to simply scratch the back of his ear, which made him happy once again. I smile as he jumps down the bed and goes to his food bowl. I use that time to look at my phone. There was still no response. What did I expect? I sigh while putting my phone back in my pocket and looking at King. Come on, King, we're going for a walk. I smile at him and he barks, running to me excited, and we do a race to the front door. I win. I laugh and he sits waiting for me to put his red leash on. Good boy. I smile, scratching the back of his ears, making him wag his tail. It was even more adorable since he wasn't going left to right but more in circles, like he didn't have the slightest clue how to do it. I grab my keys and leave, locking the door behind me. During the last week I learned that the landlord doesn't care if we have pets as long as they don't bother whatsoever. I walk in the corridor, dragging my fingers across the gray walls. I open the door to the staircase and run down with King, who had no problem keeping up. I stop at the bottom in front of the Excite, letting him catch his breath. His tongue falling to the side and his mouth looking like he was smiling. While I was focused on my dog, I feel a vibration in my back pocket and look at my phone and see that Bakugo responded to my message. Dynamite, it's fine, it's not like I'm calling you by your real name either, winky face. I feel my heart skip a beat and I smile like a dummy looking at his text. Me, thanks Kakin, love. Why did I send a heart? Why Izuku? W. Dynamite. Anyways, what are you doing? Me, I'm going to walk my dog out a little. And you? Dynamite. That's nice, I just got out of the shower. That's why he wasn't responding. Now I feel dumb for stressing out. Me? Cool, I'll text you later, my dog is getting excited. Dynamite. Okay, tell me, bye. Intersection caret omega caret intersection Dynamite. You'll have to show me how to do those, sad face. Me? I'll show Shinso and ask him to show you. Dynamite. Can't you show me yourself? Crying face. Me. Not yet, I want you to find out who I am first, caret omega caret. Dynamite. Challenge accepted. Me, bye Kakin, happy face. I put my phone back in my pocket, still smiling like a freaking idiot. I smile at my dog that started to jump around again and motion him to follow me. I open the door and am hit by a cold breeze, making me shiver. I should have brought a hoodie. I whine, starting to walk with King, who was pulling the leash. I decide to let him and run with him, letting his use up his energy. After a while I was starting to feel pressure on my chest and shortness of breath. The second I acknowledge these symptoms, I stop and King looks at me confused. I look around and see we were at the park. I go on one of the benches to rest, followed closely by my confused furry friend. Once seated, King gets the message and jumps next to me, laying his head on my lap, looking up at me. I was maybe cancer-free, but to anyone who is familiar with this disease, some side effects of the aggressive treatments can stay for unknown amount of times. One of mine is a lung problem that makes me out of breath quite easily. It isn't that frequent as a side effect still one people might get. I make sure to take my deep breaths, but the fact that I was freezing wasn't helping. I take my phone and dial Shoto's number. Hey Izuku. Sho says on the other line. Hi, can you pick me up? I can't breathe well and the cold isn't helping. I say out of breath and I hear the shuffling around on the other line. I'm on my way, your location is on. Is. Like always. I chuckle softly. Me, Shoto and Hitoshi agreed to always have our locations open in case that one of us needs help. It brings some sort of comfort in case of emergencies and we're lucky to not to have to use them too often. I wasn't speaking in Sho either, I was staying on the bench sitting straight trying to make the air go through easier. That's when it hit me. I didn't take my meds this morning. I admit under my breath. Seriously. I'm going to kill you, you idiot. F your effing cancer and F all those treatments. He says annoyed cursing under his breath. Hey Sho. I mumble. I'm alive aren't I? The cancer was inevitable, the treatments saved me, these small problems are worth having if it means I can live. I smile looking at my dog who was looking at me worried. Idiot. I jump as I see Sho come up to me worried. You're in a t-shirt. He points out and gives me his hoodie. Thanks Sho. I mumble. Letting him take King and I walk slowly behind them until we get in the car. It wasn't hot nor cold, it was a little higher than room temperature which was warming me up to stop the shivering. There was also the window slightly open allowing me to breathe fresh air. You might have guessed it already but we aren't at our first rodeo. Sho already knew what helped me in these situations. Better? He asks and I nod not putting the belt on to avoid pressure. What were you thinking? You don't even have your pumps. We talked about you bringing them when you go out especially alone. He scolds me but I knew he was worried under his annoyance. I know, I didn't mean to forget. I'll try finding another trick to help me remembering. I smile to reassure him. He doesn't engage more conversation but doesn't start driving until my chest feels less contracted allowing me to breathe easier. I'll drive slowly, don't put your belt on. He orders and I nod as he slowly backs up and we leave the parking lot and slowly driving along the street leading to my apartment complex. It was silent and the radio was closed leaving us in a comfortable silence. I focused on the noise caused by the moving around of King in the back, to the engine that was rolling, to the open window that was letting in fresh air, to my breathing who was more steady and less painful. The sting was almost completely gone and it made me relax more. I barely noticed the car stop and Sho open my door. He squats and I knew it meant for me to hop on his back. There isn't any elevators so walking up the 4 floors right now wasn't a good idea. I get on and he holds on to my legs so I wouldn't fall and I do my part putting my hands on his shoulders. Sho takes King's leash and my dog follows without causing trouble. You lucky BSTRD. Got the good dog of the batch, mine won't listen to anything I say. Sho complains while laughing slightly. He brought us up and I gave him my keys and he opens the door and drops the leash and King sits down waiting for us to tell him it was all right. I love him. He's the best. Sho puts me on the couch and goes to my room to grab my stuff. During that time King comes to sit next to me. Hey nerd. You good? I see Kaken enter the living room. I do a thumbs up avoiding to talk uselessly. Yeah. If by good you mean not being able to breathe because don't take your med and pumps like we told you to. Then yes you're fine. Sho says sarcastically coming with my meds water and my pumps. What? Kaken asks annoyed and worried. I take the pump before their scolding begins. Inhale, keep in, breathe out. I take another one and put the cap back on. I take a little water and wait before putting my meds in my mouth and drinking the rest of the content of the glass. What the hell just effing happened? Kaken asks. I look at Sho for him to do the explaining for me. Izuku has some problems with his lungs and he gets shortness of breath and he basically feels his lungs contract which hurts him. The cold air and the shivering didn't help his dumbass who decided to go out in a t-shirt. Sho explains glaring at me at the end and I force an embarrassed smile. Kaken sighs. Does he need something else? Kaken asks Sho like I wasn't near them to tell what I would need. I'm older than both of them. Could you bring a glass of cold water? Sho asks and Kaken nods walking to the kitchen. Better? Sho asks worried. Yeah, thanks. I smile. He sighs relieved before putting back a frown. This better be the last time Izuku. I'll find a way to remember to take my meds. I try reassuring him. I'll make sure he takes them. I jump seeing Kaken come back with the water that he gives me before sitting next to me, crossing his arms over his chest. Would be appreciated, Bakugo. Todoroki answers without consulting me. Morning and before sleep he has daily meds to take. He has his pumps for when he has attacks. They're always in his room if he doesn't already have them on him. Shoto explains, not letting me speak. I won't let Kabakugo take care of me like that. It isn't his responsibility. I retort. I don't mind, nerd, it ain't much of a change in my routine. Kaken answers, shrugging his shoulders. Good, so that's settled now that you can breathe. I'm calling Shin and we're eating a bin of ice cream in your face. Sho says, and I look at him wide-eyed. That's worse than having a death penalty. I look at him defeated. I wanted to cry. No buts. Next time think twice. Sho says, pulling out his phone and sitting next to me. You like that sheet that bad? Kaken asks like he's concerned for my sanity. It's ice cream, Bakugo. What he's about to do is worse than being killed. I explain and he rolls his eyes unamused. You got a FING chance to live, don't waste it on dumb shit like forgetting meds. I get the only live once sheet, but you could easily avoid these things if you took more time. He scolds me with a frown and I look down ashamed. Okay. I mumble sadly. I have to go do school sheet, should be back before. Kaken warns us before getting up and leaving without another word. Shin is on his way with cookie dough ice cream. Sho smirks evilly and I feel my heart scatter. Sho. This is worse than betrayal. I cry and he laughs, ignoring my ice cream distress. On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons Izuku POV. I was feeling inspired today. I had a bunch of ideas one after the other. I took out my notebook, writing everything that came to mind. It was a mess in there. Nothing clear, it was phrases or just words or drawings when I got bored. Every few pages there would be something that actually had some sense. It was the draft before I'd write the clean version. I take my black pen and try to think of a steady rhythm for the background. I decided to go on the classic, a / I start rambling to myself about different ideas, and after about 30 minutes the first verse was done. If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. No, I wasn't thinking of anyone while writing this. Nope, no one at all. You'll never know what went well. Then again, it just depends on how long of time is left for you. I didn't think of what a certain tall, loud blonde told me. For this one, I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest rivers. You can have it all, but not till you move it. I finish writing a third verse, and it took me 3 hours. Now I was hungry. I push my notebook. I don't even try to hide it because no one will understand what's in there anyways, even I don't understand. Anyways, I let my door open so King can go around the apartment in the meantime. I open the fridge and analyze what we had. I'll have to get milk and eggs soon, we're almost out. I shake my head, I'll think of that later. Now I was on a mission. I go back to looking and end up taking 2 eggs and put them to boil. I put a 20 minutes timer and put the fire at medium. I hummed to the melody I had stuck in my head. I was more of a solo type of artist, so I didn't ask for much help and went along with what I knew of different instruments. I was better at some like the piano and the guitar, but I'd use different software for the drums and things like that. At the end, everything ends up working, so I'm okay with it. I take my little bench to help me reach the higher shelf where we kept the ramen. If you wonder why they are so high, I have no clue, it's just where they are. I open the packaging and leave them in a bowl. Or the kettle and set some water to heat. Why do I think of Sho when I think of kettle? Actually, I know why, but still. Why? I sigh at my thoughts and open the fridge to grab some slightly seasoned cooked pork and take a piece to cut in strips. I hear the timer beep, so I close the fire and take a bowl with a spoon. I take the cooked eggs and put them aside with the bowl to cool down after filling it up with cold water. I hear the kettle whistle, so I take it off and put the boiling water in the bowl of uncooked ramen. I go to the eggs and peel the shell off. Once done, I rinse the residue off and cut the perfectly cooked eggs in half and put them in my bowl, finishing it off with the chopped pork, and I sigh in relief. Nothing burned and nothing broke. I put the stuff away, do the dishes, and put the garbage in the bin. I take my bowl and happily bring it to the table with my chopsticks laying on top of the bowl and sitting down at the table getting paranoid. Okay, nothing went wrong, something's definitely off. Am I dead? I panic taking out my phone and dial Shin's number. Zuku, what's up? Shin answers happily. Am I dead? I ask, not giving any context. Why would you be dead? Are you okay? He asks, panicked. No. I cooked myself a whole meal and nothing went wrong. I explain, even more panicked. Give me context before asking me if you're dead. He grumbles in annoyance. So I'm not dead? I ask, relieved. No, Zuku, you're alive. 100% alive. Shin sighs, discouraged. Okay. Thanks for the confirmation, Shin. I say, taking a bite of my food. Ow, ow, ow. It's hot. I hiss in pain, sticking my tongue out so it would cool down. And there is your accident. Shin says sarcastically, and I nod. Good. I sigh in relief. What were you doing? I ask him. I'm with Denki, we're out for lunch. Hi, Deku. Denki says, and I laugh. So he did guess. I say happily. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I like knowing something the others don't. It gives me power. Denki says, like a villain, making me laugh loudly. Thanks. I chuckle. Okay, well, I'll let you two go back to your date. Bye. I say happily. It's not a dash. I hang up before they could finish their sentence with a huge smile. I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I repeat the verse in my head, running to my room to grab my notebook and scribble it in one of the pages before I forget. I smile happily and go back to eat, but this time I bring my notebook. I'm on top of the world. I don't know where I want that, but I want it in this. I sit back down and eat. I was thinking, eating with my right hand and writing keywords in my book with my left hand. How much I love being ambidextrous. I coulda gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. I smile at what came out of this. Maybe I should work on the chorus now. The minutes turned into hours. I was still on the kitchen table writing, and King was having fun running around. I go to an incomprehensible page when I hear the front door open, and I look and see that Kaken and Uraraka. Come on, babe. I love you, and you do too. Why did you leave me? She cries, and I motion King to follow me discreetly. And I told you to leave me the F alone. I did a little noise, getting her attention. It's your fault he left me. She says in my direction, and I take a deep breath, ignoring her, going back to walking to my door. You should have died. I freeze at my door, just looking down in shock. I shake my head and I enter my room, ignoring whatever was said next. I sigh loudly, putting my book down and taking out my keyboard. I play random notes, trying to find a key to play on. I slowly let my fingers play a melody out. I scribble my notes on a partition as I go along. I jump when I hear someone knock on my door. Come in. I answer, and it's Kaken who comes. Sorry about what she said. He mumbles, ashamed. Don't apologize, she said it, not you, and you didn't look like you wanted her here either, so don't worry about it. I give him a reassuring smile. What are you doing? He asks, curious. Just learning a song and all. I say, not completely lying. Cool, can I hear? He asks, and I nod, unsure. I won't play the one I'm doing now, so I choose an old song. Oh, he said he liked Someone to You, though that one was more guitar. There's Lost Boy. Lost Boy by Ruth B. I choose that one and play, humming to what I would normally be singing to. When I finish, I look at him nervously. You really can play. He smirks, and I blush and slowly nod. That's one of Deku's songs, right? He asks, and I nod, smiling. You got a few other instruments, you play all of them? He asks, and I nod. The guitar and piano are my strong point, though. I explain, and he nods. Nice. He mumbles, looking around my room. How was your day at school? I ask, changing the subject. Shitty. He grumble, and I giggle. You go at UA, right? I ask, and he nods. Ain't that bad of a school, but the extras over there are unbearable. He complains. I mean, Kaminari, Kirishima, Mina, Shin, and Sho go there. They can't be all unbearable. I laugh. There are some extras a little better than the others. But Eyebags and Dunceface have been annoying the shit out of me since they know who Deku is. He says in annoyance. So, what makes you have a crush on him? I ask him curiously. I ain't got a crush on no one. He say irritated but he had a blush covering his cheeks. Don't lie, it's okay to like someone. I smile at him. He's just so sweet and he isn't pretending to be perfect. He seems like someone who's grateful for everything that he gets, small or big. His eyes are gorgeous. He explains and I smile at him. Shin told me that you two talked. How was that? I ask him, I know how it went. Just want to know his point of view. Awful. He was so calm and cute and I couldn't even talk and I kept cursing. He explains disappointed in himself. If it can reassure you, Shin told me he was also really nervous. I smile at him and he looks at me wide-eyed. Seriously? He asks in shock and I nod. It seems to have calmed down a little. So, any clues on who it could be? I ask him curious of his progress. I don't know, other than you I know no one who had cancer. So that closes a lot of possibilities. He sighs in annoyance and I internally face palm. Yeah, that makes things harder. I chuckle. I'll go, I have homework to do. He sighs and I wave goodbye and he closes the door behind him. Is he dumb or is he dumb? I ask myself silently before going back to my keyboard and continuing finding the correct melody to follow. Now, it makes a lot more sense. Now take it in but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Why waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt, I've been waiting to smile. Why been holding it in for a while? Why take it with me if I can been dreaming of this since a child? I'm on top of the world. Izuku POV. It was 4 a.m. when I finished my project. Shin's working today, so I grab my keys, my phone and a hoodie ready to head out. I'll be back, King. I smile at my child who looked worried at first before putting his head back down to go back to sleep. I go across the apartment silently to avoid waking up Kakin. I take my pumps to avoid another yelling and get out, locking the door behind me, going down the stairs and walk out to my car. I yawn loudly before starting to drive to the McDonald's where Shin works. I open the door and see that my victim was at the front cleaning the tables and facing the other way, so I walk slowly in his direction. Good morning. I yell as close as possible from his ear, making him jump aggressively and quickly turn in my direction. Izuku Midoriya. I swear to God I will brutally murder you if you do that again. He threatens me. You say that every time and yet I'm still 100% alive. I grin proudly and he swears under his breath, putting the cloth he was holding down and giving me a death glare. Anyways, I'll take the usual. I say happily while following him to the counter. With extra mustard and pickles. Coming right up. He smirks mischievously and I shake my head frantically in a panic. No. Anything but that. I cry, making him grin. Oh, and onions on top of that. Good taste you got there. He smirks. I require to speak to your manager. No one can mess with my burger that way. I order like an angry Karen. Dad. Someone wants to speak to you. Shin yells and I look at him wide-eyed. No. I cry, seeing a black-haired man come in our direction in pure annoyance. Who the shit, it's problem child. He glares at me and I nervously smile. Happy to see you too, Dadzawa. I smile and he sighs loudly, giving me a tired look. Your son is trying to poison me. I cry, knowing he won't even defend me. Add bleach in it. The tired man taps his son's shoulder and they both give me the same freaking smirk. Okay, so, I'm the weird person who wants noting in my cheeseburger except bacon and ketchup. The mustard, the pickles, the onions and all those other atrocities, they're my no square. You cannot mess with the usual. You know what? Never mind on being the first listener to my new song. I glare at my friend. And as for my threat, since Shin is almost always awake at night, we made it some sort of ritual for me to come and make him listen to them first, since I never finish them at reasonable hours. All artists must know what I'm talking, that once I'm in a moment of inspiration, if I don't do it at that moment, there is no other moment. And I will not sleep until I finish. Well, maybe not all artists, but I really hope I'm not the only one. NYWS. It's our little ritual and it's one that we like. It calms us down and Shin likes to brag about already have listened to Deku's new songs. Oh right, early morning visits mean, new song is finished and you didn't sleep all night. He says sarcastically. Yup. I say, popping the pea, then I'll go easy on you this time. my friend sighs. Also, happy to know that my problem child is staying with us for many more years to cause trouble. Aizawa says, and I smile knowing it was his way of saying he was happy that I had a full remission. Thank you for your very kind words, Dad. I chuckle, putting an accent on the dad, and he rolls his eyes, leaving. Worst part is I'm sure he doesn't hate it when you call him that. Shin says while laughing, and the leaving footsteps were coming back. I just choose my battles. Aizawa says, peeking at us, making us laugh even more. He likes it. We both nod at my statement. Anyways, you get out in 30, right? I ask him and he nods. I'm abducting you. I want to show you my new masterpiece, and after we sleep because I'm exhausted. I explain my plan. Do I have my word in this? He asks, discouraged. That's kind of the definition of abducting. You're pretty much taken by force. I grin proudly. You're unbelievable. He sighs loudly. I lean against the counter watching him prepare my order. I'm glad you didn't ask for a McFlurry today. The machine's actually broken. He laughs and I roll my eyes unamused. I'm tired, I should have slept. I back away from the front counter, noticing new clients arrive. Some people start their days way too early. I look at the time and I'm shocked to see a message. Dynamite, hey, I blink a couple times. Why was he awake? Mika, why aren't you sleeping? Dynamite, I could ask the same question. Me, true. Dynamite, but seriously, what are you doing up so early? I hesitate about telling the truth. I mean, he won't guess it's me, and he won't tell the whole world that I'm going to release a new song. Me, just finished putting together a song. I'm gonna go sleep soon. What about you? Dynamite, stupid extras popped at my door and want to go to the FING amusement park. Me, that's fun. Though waking up that early isn't. None of us send anything, and I thought it meant the conversation was over. The only reason I was unsure was the 3 little points, meaning he was typing something. Dynamite, is it true that talking to me makes you nervous? I go bright red, wondering what I'm supposed to say to that. Izuku, why did you tell him that? You just fully exposed yourself. Idiot. Idiot. Idiot me, maybe. You're hot, okay? It's extremely nerve-wracking to see you even texted me. I panic seeing there isn't any response. Wow, straight to the point. I like that. I jump seeing Shin in normal clothes looking at my conversation on my phone, and I blush from embarrassment. I just embarrass myself for life. I cry. I look at my phone and see the 3 points going on and off. He probably found me weird and creepy, and Zuku. He's probably having a freaking heart attack right now. How would you react if your crush just called you hot? Shin rationalizes, and I blush even more, taking my order he was still holding. Let's go. I want to go sleep. I mumble. I look at my phone and smile like a FING idiot. Dynamite, that makes 2 of us, winky face. I was blushing and Shin was laughing his laugh out. He sent a winking emoji. As I was having an interior gay panic moment, Shin takes my phone and types something. After a few seconds he laughs, giving my phone back. So I read what he sent and I blush a little. Me? Hi there, it's Shinso. He's having a gay panic moment, so please wait for him to come back to reality. Dynamite, you and Dunce are so dead once I find out who he is. Me, will be waiting impatiently. Bakugo. We start walking out as I was blushing like a madman. I couldn't even think of a way to formulate a sentence. And after you have to talk to him as Izuku like nothing happened. This is definitely going to be hilarious. Shin teases and I pout. I hate you. I grumble, going to my seat and starting the car. Come on. You have a hella crush on the guy and he doesn't even know you're the guy he's obsessed with. It's like watching a whole but movie. He mocks to my sufferance. To make things more interesting, I have to live with him. I complain as I start driving. He was laughing, but with both of us tired we didn't talk much, giving me a break of the teasing. I was looking in front of me and the street lamps that were passing one after the other on the side of my vision. I found it relaxing to see the empty streets. There wasn't much noise, which was even better. My thoughts kept going back at Kaken as Izuku Midoriya. He never noticed me. But as Deku, he's obsessed with me. I can't help but feel like he might laugh in my face and leave if he figures out who I really am. Izuku Midoriya. No one extraordinary, Just someone with untenable hair and childish freckles across his face. A little shorter than average and also trying to gain a little weight so he looks less like a skeleton. I'd like to say I'm average, but in reality, I'm worse than average. Too good. You keep sighing very loudly and mumbling. Anything on your mind? Shin asks, bringing me out of my thoughts. Yeah. Just thinking. I don't know if Bakugo, will still want to talk to Deku if he realizes that he's Izuku Midoriya. I admit. Want me to go undercover? Denki is one of his close friends. I'm sure he could get what he thinks of you. Shin offers. Okay, anyways, he has context since he has brain cells and actually realized Deku was me. I laugh shortly. Denki might be dumb, but he has great observation skills, thinks fast, and he performs very well in subjects he likes. People say he's dumb because of his impulsive ideas, like putting a fork in a wall plug. When we look past that, I'm not surprised he knows. Seriously. Your eyes are pretty rare. I know no one else with green eyes, and they didn't even put the pieces together. Shin sighs in discouragement and I nod in agreement, pulling up in the parking lot. Okay, here's the song. I smile, plugging my phone to Bluetooth and selecting my file. If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. You'll never know what went well. Then again, it just depends on how long of time is left for you. I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest rivers. You can have it all, but not till you move it. Now take it in, but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Why, waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile. I've been holding it in for a while. Why, take it with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I coulda gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. Now take it in, but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Why, waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile. Been holding it in for a while. Why, take it with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world, 'cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Why, waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile. Why, been holding it in for a while. Why, take it with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child, and I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you hit the ground. Get up now, get up now, and I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you hit the ground. Get up now, get up now, 'cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Why, waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile. I've been holding it in for a while. Why, take it with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I look at Shin, who was looking in front of him, listening closely to the song. When the lyrics, and I look at him waiting for an answer. Hello, Earth to Shinso. What do you think? I was waving my hand in front of his face, waiting for a reaction. It's nice. How long did it take? He asks with a huge smile, and I sigh in relief. He liked it. About 1 week. I answer him. It's real nice. He smiles and we get out the car. I'll show Lita soon and hopefully he can publish it. I smile happily. Hitoshi. I jump, seeing Denki jump on my friend. I think they're dating, but not 100% sure yet. Hey Denks, he says, kissing his forehead. Yup, definitely dating. What are you doing here? Denki asks, smiling at both of us. He wanted to show me his new song, so he came to pick me up at work, and now we're going to go sleep because I'm running on coffee. Shin chuckles. Oh, you know you gave a heart attack to Bakugo. Denki smirks at me and I turn bright pink. He also had one. Shin laughs, pointing at me, and I stick out my tongue. Poor Midoriya, he has to act like nothing since he doesn't know it's you. Kaminari wipes an imaginary tear. They were teasing me for a while, and when Mina, Kirishima, and someone else that introduced himself as Siro joined. Oi, fuckers, I'm ready. Kakin arrives. He was wearing a black tank top with a leather jacket and some black cargo briefs. He also had a bunch of rings on his fingers and some chains around his neck. When he arrives to us, he looks at me and Shin with a frown. Weren't you with Deku not even an hour ago? He asks, Shin looking at me suspiciously. Yeah, Zuka came to pick me up since he was awake and couldn't sleep. Shin explains, and Kakin buys it. By the look Kirishima and Mina gave me, they catched up on it, so I put my finger in front of my lips so they understand not to say a word. They look at me in shock and nod and I chuckle. I see Kaken look at me suspiciously and I smile slightly. Anyways, we're gonna go, I'm tired. I smile and wave goodbye, pulling Shinso with me. Once inside he was laughing his butt out while I was blushing. There's Dumb and there's Bakugo. Shin says amused and I sigh loudly. Seriously. Even the two others figured it out before him. And he literally lives with me. I whine and he holds my shoulder in compassion as we go up the stairs. You predicted it, man. Shin shrugs his shoulders. Does he hate the idea of me being Deku that much? I ask sadly as we go down the hallway leading to my apartment. I don't know, but I'll slip a word to Denks about it. I'm pretty sure that's not it though. Shin smiles to reassure me and I nod as I unlock the door and I was ready to drop dead on my bed. I've been awake for almost 24 hours.